Hey everyone, welcome back to 996. The Howl Utah Hockey Club decides to give us a lump of coal for Christmas. Utah Hockey Club back-to-back home games Sunday night, Monday night, losing both of them. However, they get 1 point Sunday night against the Anaheim Ducks after blowing a 4-1 lead. They lose in a shootout. Fun fact, Utah yet to score a shootout goal in their franchise, albeit they've only had two chances to score a shootout goal, two games, I should say, two shootout games where they had chances to score shootout goals. Monday night, they lose against Dallas, a 3-2 game. Man, probably one of their worst periods in that second period against Dallas. After that second period, they allowed the most shots on goal through two periods through Utah's season, and their shot attempts on goal were 9, which is the lowest for Utah as well. Possession numbers and analytics in that second period. In the first period, Utah had 62% of possession in that first period. High danger chances were 6-0 for Utah. We go in the second period, they have 20% of possession and 6 high danger chances against and only 1 high danger chance for Utah. This is all 5-on-5. And in the third period, they got it back on track. 71% of possession and 4-0 in terms of high danger chances. 5-on-5, they held Dallas to 0 high danger chances in the first and third. Just that second period, pretty abysmal. They're outshot 17-6. Dallas scored 2 goals, 5-on-5 to make it 3-1 heading into the third period. There's some storylines between these two games. We saw a rare coaching decision Sunday night against Anaheim where Andre Tourigny decides to bench Logan Cooley late in the third period and the full overtime. And he didn't also take a shootout attempt, although I'm not really sure Logan Cooley is one of their go-to guys on the shootout. The reason he benched Cooley was because of a pretty bad penalty, an immature penalty to take late in the third period when the team was up 4-3, allowing Anaheim to tie the game. Logan Cooley didn't see the ice. After that, this isn't a normal thing by Andre Tourigny. Tourigny is not a bully type of coach. This is a rare thing to happen. It's not like this is in Andre Tourigny's DNA to bench players after mistakes. Most of the time, Tourigny talks to his players on the bench, communicates with them really well. They both get on the same page and they move forward and correct the mistake. I think if this team was 7-10 points out of a playoff spot, I think we would have saw that again as a teaching moment. But we're in it. We're in the thick of it. You're a point, 2 points behind the wild card. Games matter. Points matter. You're not in this fairy tale of, if we kind of get 2 or 3 wins, 4 wins strung together, maybe we'll be in the conversation. It's like, no, you're one of the teams fighting for that wild card spot. A playoff team has certain habits, has certain non-negotiables. You can't take bad, undisciplined penalties up 1 goal late in a game. If you're in the playoffs, which this is a reality, they can be in the playoffs 1 or 2 points out of the wild card spot. These habits are non-negotiables. They can happen. We're at a point now where we need to evolve. We're at that next step. We're not in this rebuilding, teaching moment, feel good moments anymore. They're starting to turn the corner. And the past 2 weeks, it seems like they've cleared that corner. Obviously, these 2 games have left a sour taste in most Utah Hockey Club fans' mouths, but it's a moment where this can't happen anymore. Maybe it's a recurring theme, which the young players on Utah are taking most of the penalties. Cooley, Gunther sometimes takes too many penalties. Lamoureux. And also a thing, this isn't strictly for Logan Cooley. Like Andre Tourigny isn't singling Cooley out like, Cooley, you make terrible penalty decisions, mistakes, you're being benched. This is a signal to the room. Like, hey, I am benching our third best forward on this team in overtime, 3-on-3. There's Lamoureux in the press box who has taken an absurd amount of penalties. He's injured right now, but he should be coming back in a couple weeks because he's like one of the least serious injuries on the team. It's a signal to Lamoureux as well. Like Lamouroux's probably in the press box like, man, he benched Cooley for taking a bad penalty. I've been taking bad penalties when I'm on the ice. I really need to fix some things up, fix my discipline, and not really put my team in a disadvantaged spot where we lose points in the standings. So I like that from Andre Tourigny. They reconciled, and Cooley had a pretty good game against Dallas. Pretty disciplined, although he took a hooking penalty in the offensive zone, but it wasn't as disciplined as his penalty against Anaheim. Some other things happening in the past two games. Barrett Hayton finally scoring. He was scoreless in his past 22 games. He scored in back-to-back games. Great to see Hayton getting it going, although the third line still hasn't got it going just yet. They still need to contribute. I've been saying it pretty much almost every video that line needs to get it going. Although they had some great looks against Dallas, just the execution is not there. And I don't expect or want Andre Tourigny to blend the lines at all, because every other line seems to be doing great. It's just that one line, for some reason, they just can't put the puck in the net. But like I said, they had a great game against Dallas. They had offensive chances. They were making plays. They passed the eye test. It's just they're not getting the production they sorely need from them. I think that game against Dallas, I wouldn't be as upset if it wasn't for the game the night before where they blew that 4-1 loss. I think that loss against Dallas was fine. Dallas is a great team. You have to lose games, obviously. You can't win every game. I would have felt a lot better if they came out of Sunday with 2 points and then had this sort of dud game against Dallas. Really not a dud game, a dud period for the Utah Hockey Club. There's a lot of talk about their home record versus away record. I mentioned this in the 30-game progress report. They struggle to get wins at home. They're 5-6-4, I believe, at home, whereas on away they're like 10-6-2 or something to that matter. They're really good on the road. At home, something seems to be off. I feel like on the road, it's like when you go into work on a Monday, it's like, okay, I'm just going to work the full 8 hours. I'll do everything I can. I'll be a prime employee. Whereas when they play at home, it's like it's a Friday day at work. It's like, okay, maybe I'll leave an hour early, maybe 2 hours early. Maybe I'll start a half hour late. I won't do too much. I did a lot of stuff earlier in the week. I could be pretty lackadaisical in my work on a Friday. It seems like on the road, Utah pays attention to details a lot. They play stout defensively, and not just the defense, the forwards. It's a whole team strategy. The defense seems to be much better at home. They're not as flashy on the road either. It's like boring hockey. I don't find it boring. It's not boring in terms of entertainment. I love it when they win on the road just as much as they win at home. It's just the flashiness is not there. The creativity is not there. They just go out, they put on their work boots, their hard hat. They go to work when they're on the road, and it pays dividends. That's how you should play hockey. Whereas when they're at home, maybe a little bit more loose, a little bit more flashy, more creative, more performative. Maybe they want to put on a good show for the home crowd. The pressure could be getting to them as well. Andre Tourigny has said, even after this Dallas game, they have a lot of pressure on themselves. They put it on themselves. It's not the fans that are putting the pressure on the players. The players want to put on a good performance. They want to show the crowd. They want to reciprocate the energy and electricity from the crowd, trying to be more flashy, pay less attention to details, make that great highlight reel play. We saw in Dallas on 2 of their 3 goals, the defenseman getting caught in the neutral zone, try to make a high offensive play. They get caught and then they go the other way, and that mistake turns into a goal. So definitely a conversation to be had between their play on the road and their play at home. They got a 3-day break, and then they have a game at home Friday against the Avalanche. I think this break will do them well. They had 3 games and 4 nights heading into the break. I think it's great where they're at in the standings, 1 or 2 points out of the playoff spot. They could just regroup, regenerate, and be proud of themselves that they pulled themselves into the competition, into one of the teams in the conversation to grab that wild card spot, and things could be trending in the right direction. They got John Marino, who's expected to come back February 1st. I'm sure Lamoureux will be back by February 1st as well. Sean Durzi, unfortunately, Bill Armstrong has said he'll be out for the season. He said season, which I interpret to be regular season, not regular season plus playoffs. So maybe if Utah manages to get into the dance, we might see Sean Durzi. And no update on Connor Ingram as well, which they continue to be very cagey about Ingram's injury. And I'm not one to speculate, so I'll just leave it at that. But I'm really happy where Utah is right now heading into the Christmas break. Similar to last year, near the end of December, I was very happy where the team was, and I think I jinxed them. You could, if you find and ask one of my friends what I was saying about the team last year around Christmas and New Year's, and then what happened in January, I definitely put the jinx on them. But fortunately, this year, there shouldn't be off-ice scenarios where the team gets into a funk. I think they're building something here, and they could really turn the corner and like completely turn the corner. They're in that moment where it's like, I turned the corner, but my butt is still hanging on that corner. I just need to fully make that turn around it. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.